In this tutorial, we'll show you how to connect Excel pivot tables to Power BI and access all the underlying data. Let's get started. Welcome to Made Easy. My name is Jane, and with our dedicated Made Easy team, we're here to simplify your software learning journey. Dive into our comprehensive video tutorials for a smooth learning experience. So far, we've been connecting to data sources through Get Data or an Excel Workbook. However, these methods only bring in data from an Excel file residing in the Excel application. But what if your Excel workbook contains pivot tables and sheets? Today, we'll show you how to import this data into Power BI. In this video, we're using an Excel workbook named Customer Data. This file contains pivot tables and pivot charts across its sheets, but the underlying data isn't directly visible on any sheet. Instead, it uses a Power Pivot data model to capture all the underlying data. Let's take a closer look at this data. I've already enabled the Power Pivot add-in in Excel. If you don't have access to Power Pivot, don't worry. Power BI can still read the data. First, go to the ribbon and click on Power Pivot. Then click Manage. This takes you into the data model. What you're seeing now is the Power Pivot data model. This is the underlying data providing subsets for the pivot tables in the Excel application. At the bottom, you'll notice different sheet tabs. The data is categorized into different tables, with relationships already created between them. Let's take a brief look at the data. These sheets contain calculations and the underlying data feeding the pivot tables in Excel. If you want to see the relationships, you can go to Diagram View in the ribbon. This view is very similar to Model View in Power BI. Now I am closing this Power Pivot and Excel workbook. Now, let's move to Power BI Desktop. We're going to bring the data from the Customer Data Excel file into Power BI. You can either bring in the whole data set or just the underlying data from the pivot tables and charts. We'll demonstrate both methods to show the differences. First, let's use the Get Data method. We've covered this in another tutorial, which you can find in the description below. When you use Get Data, the Navigator window shows sheet tabs from the Excel file with pivot tables and charts. It's only showing the underlying data populating those pivot tables. Select all checkboxes to load these tables. In the table view, you'll see a small subset of the data from Power Pivot. This method only shows data from the Excel application, not the full data model. Next, let's explore the Import option. Launch a new instance of Power BI Desktop. To bring in the Power Pivot data model, go to the File tab and select Import. Choose the fourth option for Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power View. Even if you don't have these add-ins, Power BI can still recognize and import the data. Select your Excel Power Pivot file and click Open. You might see a message saying, Import Excel Workbook Contents. Click Start to begin the import process. Make sure to close the Excel Workbook first to avoid any errors. Otherwise, you will get error message like this. At some point, you'll get the Migration Completed dialog. After the migration completes, you'll see that it has imported queries, data model tables, KPIs, and measures. We're going to go ahead and click on Close. In Data pane, you can see all the imported tables. These table names are mimicking the sheet tabs in the Power Pivot data model, not the Excel workbook. If you go to Data View, you can see the broader dataset from the Power Pivot data model. This gives you a complete picture of your data, ready to be used in Power BI. In Model View, you can also see the relationships between these data. And that's it for this tutorial. Knowing when to import data versus when to connect to data can optimize your performance in Power BI. If you found this video useful, give us a thumbs up and explore more tutorials on Made Easy. If you're new here, we'd love to have you join our online community. Thanks for joining us on this learning journey. See you in the next video!